What's up, guys? Amster Knows Hoops back today with another video, and today I am talking about the downtrend or the struggles of a star or all-star caliber player in this league, and Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton this year has been averaging 15, 4, and 9, right? And those aren't terrible numbers, considering last year, right, he had like 20, 11, and 4, right? So nearly the same numbers. The issue is he's doing that on 38% from the field, 28% from three, and he's 82% from the line, but he doesn't get to the line often. He's still above 80%, so that's more than good enough. We need to talk about the question for today's video. Has the NBA figured out Tyrese Haliburton? And we're going to get into why I might think that or why I might not. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We are on the road to 1K. You guys have been nothing short of incredible. Share this with a friend if you know a Pacers fan. Shout out to my guy, Chase. I'll probably add him on Twitter too. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about, has Tyrese Haliburton been figured out? And I think the biggest thing to talk about is the defense, right? Or not the defense, my apologies. His offense. Again, I love here the aggressiveness. I think Haliburton is at his best when he actually looks to score first before he always just looks to set everyone else up. Because even in a game like this, right? And there have been talks too about Haliburton's home stats versus away, but I think that is something that could probably average out by a certain point. But even here, again, like instead of looking to pass, I think even though that's a miss, like that's a shot you need to take. And I'm happy he takes it, right? Like I think Haliburton's aggressiveness is going to be key for this Pacers team to get back into the rhythm, into the mojo, because I think it's proved one thing. If anything has been determined, Haliburton was ultimately the reason that offense was so good last year. Like, you know, there were talks about, oh, well, if you look at him off the court and the offensive numbers look similar, and no. Their offense is like 16th now, and I don't think that's purely just because at that point it's like, okay, so did everyone else on the Pacers just get way worse? Because the whole idea was Haliburton would go off the floor, McConnell would come in, and then, you know, the offense would be similar. No. I think at the end of the day, Haliburton needs to be better, right? So again, aggressiveness. I think Haliburton, right, like that's a tough shot. Now, would I settle for a shot like that? Not necessarily, right? But you didn't have a lot of time on the shot clock, but still, right? You got to take what a defense gives you. And I think at the end of the day, like I think, first of all, like these should be more available. So when I look at cleaning the glass, his rim shots so far are about like 10% of his shot diet. It's bad. Like a very, very, very small amount of his shot diet goes into attacking the rim. And that's unacceptable, quite frankly. I'm not saying you got to be Giannis or SGA, right? I'm not saying you got to live by putting your head down and just charging. But when you're 70% at the rim this season, right? Now, mind you, you might think, well, Emser, that's really good. That's because out of the, I believe, 15 or 14 games the Pacers have played, he has taken 18 shots at the rim all year long. 18. That's not even one a game. That's maybe one or two a game. No. Like, it's just unacceptable, right? Like, the amount of times this three ball has been going up and it's been missing, at some point, you have to adjust the shot diet. So, to me, I think Haliburton needs to keep some form of aggression, and I think that's where he was at his best. Like, this Knicks game, right? He went for 30 and like 15. I think it's because he had moments like this where he'd be willing to put his head down. This is in the first quarter. And he said, I need to attack. And if I don't, right? I like the attempts to attack here with Cat, right? Like, because here what he does is a really good job of, I've got you in space, right? I can attack you. I can force you to get uncomfortable, right? And he had that separation. Then you can lull them into the three ball. I would have no issue with that. But if you never show a true sign of like, I'm going to attack, you're never going to do anything. Right? Like, look at how hard most of these dudes don't even go up until he's close enough because there's still the thought of, Hallie might pass that thing. Right? And then he gets a nice lay like this. I think Haliburton's aggression is a major reason that he has been struggling. And I think that he needs to adapt and be more like, at some point, I'm not saying stop shooting threes altogether. That's ridiculous. You're in today's NBA. But maybe, right, like even in this game, he was like 4 for 10, which is still 40%. That's really good. But if you maybe brought it down to like 9, 8 attempts, and you're hitting 3 to 4 then, right, and you're seeing the shot fall while you're still being aggressive in a different way, you can then raise your volume. But I think that's the biggest issue, is that Haliburton has been so pass first and has been so passive offensively as a scorer, it's unacceptable, quite frankly. So in that way, yeah, I think the league has figured him out, because it's basically he tries so hard to set everyone else up first, and then he tries to get his, and it needs to be the other way around, right? It needs to be. He needs to score first. Teams then go, oh crap, I need to sink. Oh crap, he's getting to the midi. Oh crap, he's got our 3 ball. We got a double, we got a hedge, we got a sink, whatever it is. And then Haliburton can go, mink. There's a pass to the corner 3 ball. Oh, there's a lot to Benedict Mathurin. Oh, there's a cut. Like, that is then where I think he's at his deadliest. And I think that's part of the reason I think everyone was so high on him at the beginning of last year. The scoring output was high and efficient. And then on top of that, he would then play make for everybody else. So I think that's where Haliburton can fix that. And then I want to talk about his playmaking and just sort of where I think teams might be looking and things are getting similar. So for example, a great example here, this is from their Magic game, I believe like a week or 2 ago now. When the Magic went on their hot streak, got about 4 or 5, I think 6 games ripped off in a row, right? Look at this. Beginning of the first quarter. Suggs isn't even really pressing on him. And KCP is basically just playing for the pass. Like, yes, this would be an assist for Haliburton. But the beginning of the game, right? Notice how the defense has practically said, we know how you want to play. Like, just look at the way even like Suggs guards him here, right? So he fights under the screen. So automatically he's not thinking that he's going to shoot it. Right? And this is a good pass, by the way. Like, I'm not saying this isn't good. Like, these are great reads. Like, that's wide open. And that's on Goga. However, my larger premise remains. They don't expect Haliburton to try and get his bucket. Now, if Goga was better here in terms of getting to that, now that's a different story, right? But again, we're in the first, right? And some of these buckets, you can even see like Suggs is like, this is one of those shots, right? You get Suggs in front of you, you roll, shoot that. Like, this is a shot. I'm sorry, that's a shot. This is where the aggressiveness can come in and change the way they play, right? Then, when stuff like that happens, Suggs get tight, pause. If Turner keeps rolling, boom, easy pass. Siakam cuts, boom. But instead, right, you never, like, punish your opponent. Like, this is great, right? He drives in, Franz calls out to him, gets the ball out in time, right? And Franz at that point is close enough to attack it, but still, right? Like, that is a good example of, looking to pass, but you're still playing more. Like, even here, the issue is Haliburton flashes over. So you see Franz kind of give up on pursuing him because he's going for the pass. I think they need to draw up plays or methods for Haliburton to score or for him to pass without him always having to scan for it. And what I mean by that is, if you run some opening set plays, right, where it's, okay, I know I'm getting a play where I'm getting a pin down for Siakam, or I'm getting a staggered screen that helps me get Mathurin. he then can act as if he's going to score. There needs to be the threat. That is the problem. Haliburton, I believe, is more than capable. He's an all-NBA caliber player. At this point, he objectively is. He's been an all-NBA player. A multiple-time all-star. You need to remind people that you are a threat as a scorer. Because I think that's what makes Luka, Jokic, Giannis, even Steph still, Embiid, most of the players of the top 10 who are, more than capable playmakers. What makes their playmaking so great is that you have to respect them when they go to attack you to score. Because then that opens everything else up. And again, it's not a coincidence that that's when Haliburton was at his absolute peak so far in his career. That opening month and a half, 2 months of the season, when he was tearing the league apart, he was scoring efficiently, but he was attacking. So teams had to respect that attack. But now, like these are great. Like, this will always happen. Haliburton transition is still one of the best playmakers in the league. That's where he's at his, absolute best. And that's always going to stay that way. Right? But even here, right? Getting Isaac to then jump on it, that is, if I don't understand when you're someone like Rick Carlisle, why you aren't pointing that out in a film room and being like, Hallie, this is what we need. Because if you get Isaac to jump, if you get the man next to him to come over as well, moments like that will happen. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the league has figured Haliburton out? In a way, I think so. But I'm going to be honest. I think a large part of it is because Haliburton is playing right into their hand. He's not making it easier for himself to improve, if that makes sense. He's putting himself in a tougher spot because of his lack of aggression. Now, Pacers fans, if you think this is because he's still hurt or messed up, that's fine. But at some point, when you're out there playing, I'm pretty sure he's played every game this year, or if not, he's missed one or two. Your play has to be better when you're at that level of an expectation. So I think at the end of the day, in some ways, the league has figured Haliburton out. But I think it's more so Haliburton has played into the, not the stereotype, but the generalization of him. Right? He's basically played into the, I'm the pass first, I get the whole team going, and my scoring can come second. And since he's done that, the team hasn't played as well. The offense hasn't been as good. He's not playing as good as a scorer. And it makes his playmaking tougher. So quite frankly, what he's doing is playing right into their hand. So I think aggression is the key to fix Tyrese Haliburton. So let me know what you guys think down below. Is Tyrese going to bounce back? Obviously, I don't think he's going to stay these low percentages, efficiency-wise. But do you think he'll bounce back to something similar of last year? Do you think this injury is still bugging him? Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. As always, this means the world to me that you guys sat here and listened. Have a beautiful rest of your day. This was Answer Knows Hoops. Peace out.